Do your knees hurt when you jump or when you run? Whether you're a volleyball player or a basketball player, or you're trying to do plyometric to get your bounce up? Well, I'm gonna show you how to get rid of that pain in 5 minutes. Literally, at the beginning of the video. If your knees hurt, by the end of this 5-minute video, your knees are gonna hurt a little less. And the exercise I'm gonna show you is backed by research from Jill Cook, Ebony Rio, and Keith Barr. My name's Isaiah Rivera. I have a 50.5-inch vertical, training for a 51-inch vertical, and my knee pain was once so bad that I almost quit jumping because I couldn't do the one thing that I love the most, to jump. That is until I learned the exercise that I'm about to show you in this video. I'm actually doing the exercise right now. Now, you might be asking yourself why I'm doing this weird movement and I'm just sitting here doing nothing. It's because I'm doing the exercise that I'm gonna teach you. Now, the exercise doesn't just have to be this. It can also be this, or you can add weight to it like this, or you can do it like this, which is what I do before all my workouts, or you can do it like this, the original one that I used to decrease my pain. See, the exercise that I'm talking about is called isometric. And isometric is anytime your muscle is getting loaded, but it's not changing in length. What do I mean by changing in length? Your muscle can do an eccentric, which is when it lengthens under load. My quadricep is getting longer. Or you can do a concentric and shorten it under load. In isometric, you just hold it. If you have knee pain, you wanna find an exercise that is loading the quadricep without changing in length. And the variations are endless. Another popular one that I've used is grab your shin, hold your knee at a certain angle, and then push against the force of your hands going inward. In this video, we're specifically talking about tendon pain. Your tendon is what connects your muscle to your bone. And it is the most common injury for any explosive athlete that runs and jumps. When you contract your muscle, it pulls on the tendon, which pulls on the bone, and that's what causes movement. But doing that repetitively over and over and over again overloads the tendon, especially at the site where it attaches to the muscle or bone. I vividly remember the first time that I ever got tendon pain. I was in PE class, we were doing a high jump competition, and I had never jumped that many times off one foot. All of a sudden, I felt a sharp pain right here in this bump, and thus started a 6-year battle of experiencing tendon pain every single day while jumping. And at the beginning, I did what most of you probably have done. I rested, but the pain didn't go away. And it worked for a little bit. I rested for like a week, and then my knees felt amazing, and as soon as I went back to try to jump, boom, tendon pain again. See, tendon pain doesn't go away with rest. You're taking the load away from it, which is why it feels better, but during that rest, your tendon's actually getting weaker. So to get it stronger, we need to load it. The thing is loading it is the thing that hurt it in the first place. So the key is having the right amount of load. There are 3 main things that piss off a tendon. Too much load, which is how much force is going through the tendon. Too much compression. Think of compression as how much the tendon is stretching over the bone. So right here, not a lot of compression. Right here, a lot of compression. Right here, your tendon is likely to hurt more than right here. And then speed. How quickly are you loading the tendon? Or you can look at it as squatting slow is gonna hurt less than squatting fast is gonna hurt less than doing a standing jump is gonna hurt less than doing a running jump at max speed. So you gotta find the appropriate amount of load. So this is where ISOs come in, specifically this one. This is the first ISO I recommend to anybody because you're able to control how much load is at the knee. If you're on a leg extension machine, you can use lighter and lighter weights or a lighter dumbbell or kettlebell. There is 0 velocity. Remember, ISOs, your muscle's not lengthening or shortening. And there's almost no compression because you're holding your leg almost straight. This allows us to safely load the tendon to get it to adapt and become stronger. There's also a lot of science that supports why isometrics are so good for you. They can essentially calm your nervous system so there's less inhibition from the brain, and it teaches your muscles to fire correctly again. And when held for long enough, it actually signals your brain to produce more collagen, which is what your tendon is made of. And also when you hold it long enough, you're able to stimulate the cells deep inside your tendon that you're not loading with fast, heavy loading. And with very long holds, you can also load deep inside the tendon and get the part of the tendon that you're not loading with fast, heavy loading. So that's very little into the science behind it, but now let's get into the good stuff, the stuff that actually helps you. And this is just one piece of the puzzle. This is just phase 1, isometrics. There's also phase 2, heavy, slow, concentric loading, phase 3, energy storage, and phase 4, energy storage and release. And these are all phases that you need to get back to jumping at max effort. If you want to learn more about the science and the prescriptions for the other 3 phases, click the link in the description. I made a free ebook on literally everything I know about tendons that's gonna help you get back to jumping and running with less tendon pain than you have today. All right, prescription. Choose the isometric of your choice. If your knees are really bad, I highly suggest the knee extension isometric. Once you start getting healthier, you can go into the other variations that I showed you. 2, choose a weight or effort level if you're doing a manual variation like this one or the one I was doing at the beginning when I was kneeling down. And ideally, you choose a weight or effort level that's heavy enough to load the tendon to cause an adaptation, which in research has been shown to be about 70% of your maximum voluntary contraction. This is very, very key. Then you're gonna hold it for 45 seconds. Now remember, staying out of compression initially is important. So if you're doing a manual variation, I suggest staying at around 90 degrees or higher. As you get healthier, you can start getting into a little bit more compression, but I highly suggest you get to the point where you can go heavy or try harder with the manual variations. Then you're gonna rest 1 to 2 minutes in between sets, and you're gonna do this 5 times. Research has shown isometrics to decrease your pain for up to 90 minutes. So I suggest you do it before any time you lift legs or any time you have a jump session. And then on your non-heavy loading days, I would do them every 6 hours. Again, do those 5 sets of 45 seconds every 6 hours. And that's it. So right now, do 5 sets of 45 seconds with those guidelines I said. And if your problem is specifically tendinopathy, you have pain in the tendon, your pain will go down. If you have meniscus pain or ACL issues or literally anything that's not a tendon, don't do this. Or cartilage issues like PFP, chondromalacia, do not do isometric. Stay away from them because it can make it worse. And I do want to state, I am not a doctor. These are just things that have helped me, that I have learned by looking at research and talking to people that are way smarter than me. And I have used these same principles to coach thousands and thousands of athletes to decrease their tendon pain. Having said that, I would first go to a doctor so they can actually diagnose what your issue is. Make sure they know what they're talking about, because a lot of doctors are not up to date in the current evidence-based practices that are best, especially for tendinopathy. I remember when I first went to a doctor, they told me to take ibuprofen and ice it, which is horrible, the opposite of what you want to do. And again, link in the description if you want a free ebook on everything I know about tendons. Like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.